Breaking news! Broncos country, something big is happening behind closed doors at Dove Valley, something the rest of the league isn't ready for. And no, this isn't just hype or wishful thinking. I'm talking about national recognition, elite rankings, and a level of roster development that we haven't seen in Denver for years. While other fan bases are caught up in the usual offseason noise, the Broncos have been quietly assembling one of the most complete, dangerous, and underestimated teams in the NFL. And it's not just one position group that's catching attention, it's multiple units, across both offense and defense, all pointing toward a season that could redefine the franchise's trajectory. The energy is high, the numbers are speaking, and it's time we talk about what's really going on. Because if you haven't been paying attention, you're about to be stunned by just how far ahead the Broncos might actually be. But before we get into the details, make sure you hit that like button, but only if you've been riding with the Broncos through the ups and downs. And if you're a fan who's stuck by this team for over 20 years, comment below, "Go Broncos!" My heart bleeds orange and blue. Now let's get into what's turning heads across the league. Let's get right to it. First things first, the offensive line. Yeah, you heard that right. For years this unit has been a sore spot, often pointed out as a weakness. But not anymore. This year, Sports Illustrated named the Denver Broncos as having the best offensive line in all of football. And that's not just some outlier opinion. ESPN has backed it up, reminding everyone that last year, Denver's O-line was the top-ranked unit for both pass blocking and run blocking. Let that sink in. According to a composite analysis compiled from multiple respected outlets, Pro Football Focus, Fantasy Network, Sharp Football Analysis, Fantasy Points, and ESPN, the Broncos rank second overall across all metrics, just behind the Philadelphia Eagles, who, by the way, are reigning Super Bowl champs. Sean Payton and George Payton have emphasized from day one that the energy of this team must come from the offensive line, and now they've built the group to back that philosophy. That's not just hype, it's statistical reality. But we're not stopping there. Let's move to the defensive side, because this next piece is wild. Bleacher Report recently ranked the best pass rushing duos in the NFL, and Denver sits at the very top. That's right, the Broncos have the number one pass rush duo in the entire league. And here's the kicker, that ranking doesn't even account for depth pieces like DeAndre Tillman or rookie Jonah Ellis, the youngest rookie to ever notch 5 sacks in a season. Denver isn't just top-heavy, this pass rush room is a platoon of pure chaos. You win championships by dominating the trenches on both sides, and Denver is checking that box twice. Speaking of dominance, let's talk about the best corner in the league, Patrick Surtain. Not just best in the AFC, best in the entire NFL. He's coming off a season where he flat out erased some of the league's best receivers. Tight end? No problem. He picked off a pass against Brock Bowers. He's not just a lockdown corner, he's Defensive Player of the Year. And he's only getting better. This isn't just a homer narrative either. CBS ranked the Broncos as having the best offseason among all AFC playoff teams. You've got the Bears and Patriots making noise, sure, but neither sniffed the postseason. Denver did. They made the playoffs and still managed to pull off one of the most productive offseasons in the entire league. That means while everyone else is playing catch-up, Denver is accelerating. And that leads us to a position that was seen as a potential weak link, the wide receivers. But even there's reason for optimism. According to the latest data, Courtland Sutton ranks as the number 5 receiver in the league in jump ball situations. He's the go-to guy in contested catches. Sean Payton's offensive philosophy is all about adaptability, matching personnel to defensive schemes, and Sutton gives him a lethal option for those tough, physical battles in the air. Add in Pat Bryant, who has the potential to be a slant route nightmare a la Michael Thomas, and young guys like Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin, and Devin Vele, who are all expected to take steps forward, and this once questionable group suddenly looks promising. And don't overlook the interior defensive line. NFL's top 100 is dropping, and Zach Allen is right in the mix as a top 5 guy. That means not only is Denver stacked on the edges, but they've also got one of the best interior rushers in the game. Let's not forget the context here. Schedule matters. The Broncos only have to play 8 teams that made the playoffs last season, while the Chiefs have to play 10. The Chargers and Raiders? They've got a tougher road too. That gives Denver a real edge heading into the season, especially when you factor in team momentum. Now, if there's one position that still draws questions, it's the running back room. And yet, Sean Payton doesn't seem worried. In fact, he looks thrilled. The plan isn't to have a singular bell cow back but a stable of specialized runners who can each bring something different to the table. Audric Estime looks like the designated power back, ready to crush short yardage and goal line situations. And despite the offseason chatter about his future, Estime is locked in, training hard, staying focused, and clearly motivated to prove he belongs. He's still one of the youngest players on the roster and has sky-high potential. R.J. Harvey was brought in, but Estime's mindset and grind suggest he's not backing down from any competition. All the data points, all the narratives, all the buzz, it's converging on one conclusion. The Broncos have built something special. And even media from Kansas City, yes, Chiefs Kingdom, is starting to show signs of concern. Prominent figures are calling out complacency in Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. And if there's even a hint of a letdown in KC, Denver is ready to pounce. Because here's the thing, this isn't just about talent. This is about timing, cohesion, and momentum. Everything is lining up for the Denver Broncos in a way that feels different than in years past. And the best part? The core pieces aren't just stars. They're bought in, they're hungry, and they're ready to prove that Denver is back on the NFL's biggest stage. Let's look deeper at the offensive identity Sean Payton is building. The offensive line gives Payton the freedom to fully unlock his playbook. With a top-tier unit up front, he can manipulate the game flow, wear defenses down, and control the tempo. He's not designing a system around weaknesses anymore. He's crafting a strategy around strengths. And in classic Payton fashion, expect him to keep defenses guessing. He has mismatches all over the field. Sutton on 50-50 balls, Bryant on quick slants, Mims taking the top off with deep routes, and a variety of backs to exploit defensive gaps in every down and distance situation. And don't overlook the psychological edge. The Broncos are coming into 2025 with a chip on their shoulder. This is a team that's been mocked, doubted, and overlooked, but now they're stacking up accolades from respected outlets. The locker room knows the narrative is shifting, and that fuels a dangerous kind of motivation. There's a hunger that you can feel in every training session, every press conference, every social media clip. These players aren't just going through the motions, they're preparing for war. On defense, the combination of elite pass rushers and a lockdown secondary is lethal. If you can pressure the quarterback and blanket receivers, you force mistakes. That's exactly what this Denver defense is built to do. Quarterbacks will be forced to rush throws under duress, and that's when ballhawks like Patrick Surtain feast. And with Zach Allen wrecking things from the inside, offenses have no place to hide. And don't forget the role of leadership here. Sean Payton isn't just a head coach, he's a culture architect. He's creating an environment where excellence is the expectation, not the goal. You're seeing that mindset ripple through the locker room. Veterans are stepping up. Young players are elevating. There's no complacency, only focus. Now zoom out. Look at the AFC West. The Raiders and Chargers are both undergoing identity shifts with new coaching staffs and personnel changes. The Chiefs are still dangerous, no doubt, but we're seeing signs of vulnerability, especially with media in Kansas City questioning Mahomes' offseason intensity. And the Broncos? They're stable, hungry, and more talented than they've been in years. The division is more open than it has been in a long time, and Denver is in perfect position to take control. Even when it comes to depth, this roster is impressive. The edge room has players like DeAndre Tillman and Jonah Ellis waiting to make their mark. The wide receiver group, once seen as a soft spot, now has both veterans and exciting young talent ready to step up. The running back group might lack a superstar name, but it has balance, versatility, and the full confidence of Sean Payton. That says a lot. And the schedule? It's one of the most favorable in the conference. The Broncos don't have to face as many playoff-caliber teams as their division rivals. That alone could swing the race. A few early wins, a strong midseason push, and suddenly, Denver could be sitting atop the AFC West while other teams are scrambling to keep up. This is a rare moment when the pieces are not only all there, they're already being put together. From the trenches to the secondary, from the coaching staff to the locker room energy, this